Hello, everyone. My name is Elijah Mercado, and I decided to do my presentation today on things that employers are looking for in college graduates, and more importantly, things they're not finding. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me was that soft skills are skills that aren't really taught. More things that are learned, like listening skills, critical thinking skills, and like interpersonal skills, are the number one thing that employers say college students that graduate and come apply for jobs don't have and need to work on. And I decided to pick this topic because it's obviously really important to me and most of the people in this class who are on their latter half of their college career and getting ready to go into the workforce. And so I just thought it was a really relevant topic to talk about. So yeah, a lot of companies are saying simple things like critical skills, listening skills, and interpersonal skills are big things they're looking for, and they're not finding. And in my research, I found that there's a couple of perspectives we can look at this from. One of the perspectives I saw from the Society for Human Resource Management website was that they blamed it all on the colleges and universities and the teachers, that they're not really focusing on that kind of stuff in class, and they're more just teaching the material and getting you technically ready in whatever field you chose. And I thought it was interesting because I never really thought about this topic until I found it, and that you never think about that when you're in class. And when you're in class, just focus on the material, and your whole life ever just like it's all about the grades, and everything will come later. But after doing some research, I found that it's not the case, and they're finding a lot of kids who are, or adults, I guess, graduates who are really smart, book smart, but they just don't have the personal skills or face-to-face human contact skills to fit into a company. And I just thought this is a huge point and something really important to talk about. Communication skills were a big thing that I found in my research, that just like simple things like face-to-face communication, talking to people, sending emails and phone calls, the younger generation just isn't good at them. They're lazy to respond to emails. They don't pick up the phone. Everybody just wants to text, and this is just like really reflective on like how the younger generation is as a whole. Like everybody's texting, everybody's using Snapchat, and things like writing out professional emails and using proper grammar, and the way we talk using proper grammar. It's just something we don't really do anymore, and it's important to think about. Like all those teachers you had when you were younger, and like when you're a freshman, are telling you that are telling you, when you email me, try to be professional and just going to prepare you for the real world. That's true. And I found that the flip side of the teachers and the universities being the cause of the problem. Another perspective that I found was from the second article I chose, that was from Drew C. Appleby, and he's a PhD from Iowa State University. He was a teacher he worked in the universities for four decades. And in his article, he had 6 different categories, like things like critical thinking and thinking skills and listening skills. And he classified all the students he had in his career in 2 categories. He had the SSs, or successful students, and then the USSs, which were unsuccessful students. And all those things he talked about, like the SSs just sounded like the kids that were like the teacher's pets, or like the kids you really didn't want to be when you're in high school. But once you get to college, like all the kids who are involved, who participate in class, and who like take leadership roles like voluntarily, those people are working on their soft skills without even knowing it. And in his essay, he writes all about how it's all about the kids, and what you put into is what you're going to get out. So all the kids who are super into it and they're trying hard, showing up to class every day, asking questions, going to office hours, those are the kids who come out with the soft skills when they graduate, who are ready to take on the workforce. And his article is just cool, having 2 different perspectives. As to one of the articles was all about how it was the teacher's fault, they need to teach us more, and the other article was all about, from the teacher's perspective, that it's up to you guys, it's up to us to work on it as we're in class, work on it when we're in class, and it's all about what we put in is going to get out, is what we're going to get out. And I thought that really hit me, because like I know being in class, like I'm never really the first one to raise my hand or volunteer to do something. Like I'll do it if it happens, but I'm never like the first person to do it. And so after reading his article, I was like, well, I really don't have a connection with many of my teachers, and it just made me think about how moving forward I need to be more involved and try to make a bigger effort to get involved in my classes and make a connection with my teachers. Because he also talked about when you do finally graduate and you're applying for jobs and things like that, you're going to need a good resume, and you're going to need good interviewing skills. And the last thing is you're going to want recommendations from all your teachers. But if you're not putting in any work with your teachers and like meeting with them in office hours, like they're not gonna know who you are, and no one's be able to write you a letter of recommendation. So that was another big thing. And then moving forward, companies are just becoming more and more technologically advanced, and so simple jobs like operating machinery and bank tellers and factory workers, all that stuff's going out. It's going out. It's going out with the old generation. Like going to college, like those aren't the jobs we want to have anyway. But the more and more things that are becoming uh, computerized and being done by machines, that's taking away some of the lower end jobs, yes, but at the same time, it's creating new jobs where those type of technological skills, like knowledge of the craft and things like that, are kind of going by the wayside. And all the uniquely human skills, like being able to communicate one on one, and make big decisions, those are the big skills that companies are looking for when they're hiring. And so when you're in your interviews and everything, you need to be able to communicate to the interviewer that you have those skills and you can make the tough decisions. And that's one of the things that came up in my research, is that the things that make us uniquely human, like our ability to reason and communicate and like set us apart from like animals and things like that, those are the things employers really want to see, because all those jobs where you can just kind of sit behind and just do your work, not talk very much, and stay out of the spotlight, are just turning into computerized jobs. And the more and more that we become technologically advanced, the more and more we're going to have to use our communication skills to communicate in business and everything we do. So that's my presentation, and thanks for listening.